of flying in the Cub, the two-seater, and you proposed to her there
In the air?
plane. And then, from what Aunt Dee said, if she didn't say yes, you were going to tip her out.
So you're gonna, no, he was going to crash the plane.
Well, an offer she couldn't refuse.
I heard he was going to tip her out.
He was going to crash
I
the
don't
plane,
know.
but then he almost.
No, that's not the.
Yeah.
And you guys are in a hot air balloon here, huh?
Sherry, yeah, Dad and Sherry went up in a hot air balloon down in Forest Park, wasn't it, Dad? Wasn't it Forest Park that you went down to, or
It was further south.
further south?
Right down around Fenton.
Oh, okay.
That was my first balloon ride and Cher's. And
Last.
the pilot wanted to give us a thrill. And he come right down where he just about touched the Merrimack River. And
Went
it
back
was
up.
more heat and both we went.
You know, getting back to
Hold
the,
up.
getting back to flying the Piper Cub, you told Mom that if she didn't marry you, you would crash the plane, not tip her out. You'd crash the plane,
No.
and
I
then when,
heard the tip out.
and then when they started to land, tell them what happened.
Well, it wasn't quite like that, honey. No, we went, we did a lot of flying together. And I made up my mind to pop the question, and so I put the airplane in a tailspin where it was bending in. Going down.
Oh,
And
jeez.
then I asked her, I said, honey, will you marry me? And she, yes, Bob, yes.
But then
version, yeah.
when you started to land, you really had problems.
Yeah, well, the engine had just been rebuilt on this airplane, and it started clunking and like it was falling apart, so I just turned it off. We were close to the airport where we had plenty of time to land. So it was a thrilling day.
It was like a dead stick landing, wasn't it?
Yeah,
No,
yeah.
Yeah, you turned the engine off and you just kind of glided into the airport.
Yeah. Mhm.
Wow, that takes a lot of skill as a pilot, obviously. How many times did you guys fly? Several. Did you guys fly a good 100, 200 times together?
Oh,
With Aunt Dee.
we did a lot of flying. I have no idea.
He was in the Civil Air Patrol back during the war. And is that where you learned to fly, was the Civil Air Patrol, Dad?
No,
Or-
I learned on my own, and then I joined the Civil Air Patrol, and then I married, or I met Dolores on the CAP, and so well, we just went flying. The primary duty that we had was going out looking for people during flood patrol, like right now, when the rivers are all up and people were on roofs and they needed help.
Stranded.
So that was one of our jobs. And if sometimes if an airplane had crashed in the woods, the job was to locate it. But just a bunch of jobs that the Air Force normally taken care of, because they were all in the war. And so the CAP was an auxiliary of the Air Force. And so it was an enjoyable time of my life.
James, do you fly out United going home?
Yes.
Okay, when you go into the terminal and you go down the escalator, if you look, and I think it's still there, if you look to the right, there will be a kind of a podium with a airplane on top. And that is the Trojan, the Trojan horse glider that he worked on, and his name is on the plaque on the podium. But it's in the main terminal, after you go down the escalator, and it's to the right. If you're going towards the southwest terminal type of thing, you know, you're inside, you would be going east. You go down the terminal, you go east, and at the bottom of that escalator, there's this thing, and you should see it.
Did they bring it back out? Because I knew
It's been out for the last couple of years, yeah.
Okay, yeah, I knew.
After they
with
did the
red-
remodel.
yeah, okay, yeah.
You helped design that plane?
Yeah. He worked for Leicester
Help
Kaufman.
design it, put it that way. Takes a lot of engineers to design their whole airplane.
And it was gonna be used as a glider during World War II. But they finished it just as the war was ending. So they never did really mass produce it, right, Dad? Am I telling it right?
We built two and test flew them and was ready to go when the war ended.
But the glider was gonna take food and men into Europe and land them, right? Is that what they were for, the gliders? The Trojan horse, wasn't it supposed to take troops and food into Europe?
Oh, yeah, I could carry a tremendous load of troops, tanks, and jeeps, and all kinds of stuff for the war, for fighting.
And that was his contribution to the war. He got deferred so that he was working on this project.
Well,
Yeah.
so he was colorblind too, so.
Yeah, but he
Oh.
was saying that he was, you know, more or less deferred because he was working on this project that they felt was much more important than drafting him into the army.
I had heard about you engineering planes, but I haven't heard as much about you flying them. So that's interesting to hear that you would go on these rescue missions,
Oh,
Yeah.
looking for people that had been
In
stranded
floods
in a
and
flood.
stuff.
And then about the
Very
F-15, when you started working on that?
that, there was quite a few before that. I mean, the F-4 Phantom was the first one. And then the F-3, but it never developed. And then the F-18, and I worked on the F-50 as Air Force, and 18 was Navy. And the F-15 was obsolete now practically. It was designed and built years ago when I was still working. And I've been retired for 30 some odd years. So. I can't complain about a thing about my life. I've been very happy.
Seems like you took him home for dinner. was he dinner that night?
You might tell me.
It's like a possum or something.
I was in the animal. I was taking a picture of it.
It's good pictures.
That's I think. I've got some pages to say that. Just special events in my life.
Yeah, it's a pretty castle.
Banff.
Banff.
I'm pretty
That's
sure.
Neuschwanstein.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, is that Neuschwanstein?
Northern Germany.
I was thinking it was
Neuschwanstein.
Banff,
No,
but
no, no.
Neuschwanstein?
Yeah, Banff is a whole different thing.
Canada, yeah, right?
Yeah.
Up in Canada, yeah.
Well,
We don't have castles
the
there.
castle looks a lot, yeah,
Well, yeah.
the thing looks a lot like that in Banff.
Really?
Yeah,
I've never been.
yeah.
A little different, but yeah. We have some pictures of that, so.
We've got a picture of it downstairs too. I don't know what happened to it. I thought it was hanging, but I don't know where. I haven't.
Would you drive across that bridge? It looks a little right?
Yeah, a little iffy.
Oh wow, that might be more like band funk.
I'm thinking that's Glacier. It reminds me an
Yeah.
awful lot of Glacier.
Yeah,
Where's that?
like
In
that,
Utah
like
or-
It's in Montana, and then it's the Waterton Glacier National Park. Waterton is on the Canadian side, and Glacier is on the Montana side. And those are just pictures that were, for his 95th birthday, we had a thing hanging with pictures of his life in
Yeah.
sequence. Max put it all together. And those were the pictures from his 95th birthday, and we, had,
strung out, yeah.
yeah.
Oh wow.
In
That
the,
might
in the
be
mirror
that.
room.
Is that him? Or
Yeah, that's him and my Uncle Gene.
Oh, yeah.
His Uncle Gene. And Jake, the dog. I think that was Jake. Well, no, it had to be a different dog because Jake was alive when I was little. You were little there. Do you remember Uncle Gene's dog that you had when you